For millions of parents all across the Philippines, a simple trip out, say, to a cafe or a mall, it's just not simple at all. It's this high-stress, tactical mission that, let's be honest, often just ends in frustration. So today, we're going to break down this daily and often invisible struggle of trying to get around in public spaces that just weren't built with families in mind.
And look, this isn't some wild exaggeration. This is a real quote, and it captures a reality that is just way too common. It's that feeling, right? That quiet desperation trying to meet your child's most basic needs in a place that offers absolutely no dignity, no safety, and zero support. This one sentence, it really gets to the very heart of the problem.
And that's really the key here. This isn't about one bad day or one poorly designed cafe. No, this is a systemic issue. It's something that's woven into the very fabric of public life, and it's affecting parents absolutely everywhere, from Luzon to Mindanao.
It's a huge contradiction when you think about it, isn't it? We celebrate family as this cultural cornerstone, this thing we're so proud of. And yet, the physical reality of our cities and our towns tells a completely different and much harsher story. So why is this happening? What gives? That is the big question we're tackling today.
All right, so to even start thinking about a solution, we've got to be able to put a name to the problem. And it turns out there's actually a specific term for what so many parents are going through.
It's this thing called architectural hostility. And this is a really key concept to grasp. It's when a space isn't just missing an amenity, its entire design is basically sending a message, loud and clear. You and your baby are an inconvenience here. This isn't some accidental oversight. It's a structural barrier built right in.
And we're not just talking about a few little niche spots either. We're talking about the places that make up our everyday lives. Think about it. From grabbing a quick coffee to going to a family wedding, from your daily commute to a weekend shopping trip, parents are constantly trying to navigate environments that simply were not built for them.
So what do you do when there's no changing table? Well, parents are forced into these really undignified and, frankly, downright dangerous situations. Every single one of these alternatives isn't just uncomfortable, it's a total hygiene nightmare that puts both the baby and, honestly, the public at risk.
And this is where it all starts to build. It goes from being a personal frustration to something, well, a lot bigger. This isn't just about convenience anymore. It's a genuine and often completely overlooked public health issue.
Let this sink in for a second. According to the World Health Organization, diarrheal disease is the third leading cause of death in kids under 5. Now, obviously, it has many causes, but the connection to basic sanitation is undeniable. Having a simple, clean surface to change a diaper isn't some fancy luxury. It's a critical tool in preventing the spread of deadly diseases.
What's so wild here is the domino effect of all these risks. It's not just about germs like E. coli from a dirty sink counter. It's also about a baby's super sensitive skin coming into contact with harsh industrial cleaning chemicals. And get this, it directly impacts moms too. The stress and the total lack of privacy can literally inhibit milk production, which can sometimes even force a premature end to breastfeeding. It's all connected.
But it's not just about health risks, right? There's another whole layer to this. The very design of our public spaces is actually reinforcing old, outdated, and frankly harmful ideas about who's supposed to be taking care of the kids.
Yeah, this right here, this perfectly sums up the massive disconnect we're talking about. Our buildings, our cafes, our malls, they're often stuck in the past, designed around this assumption that only moms change diapers. But that's just not how modern families work. Parenting is a team sport.
So here's the bottom line. This is discrimination that's literally built into the walls. It puts fathers in this impossible spot, and it unfairly defaults all that labor right back to mothers, totally undermining the idea of shared parenting that so many families are trying to live by.
Now, you might be sitting there thinking, hold on, isn't there a law for this kind of thing? And the answer is, well, it's complicated. There's this huge gap between what's written on paper and what actually happens in the real world.
Okay, so let's break this down. We do have a law, Republic Act 10,028, that says there have to be lactation stations, but enforcement is spotty, at best. But here's the massive loophole. There is no national law that actually requires diaper-changing tables. None. It's left up to businesses. And get this, even in some fancy malls that do have them, you might find them locked away in a VIP lounge. This means basic hygiene suddenly becomes a privilege you have to pay for, not a basic human right.
Okay, so the problem is huge. I get it. It can feel overwhelming, but it's not impossible to fix. So let's talk about how we can actually start to demand better, because change is absolutely possible.
And look, we don't have to just sit around and wait for new laws to pass.
These 6 steps are real practical things we can all start doing right now. The first 2, asking before you go and leaving a very public review, that's you using your power as a consumer. It tells businesses, hey, this matters to us. The next 2 are all about accountability. Report violations of the lactation law to the DOH and vote with your wallet by supporting businesses that actually are baby-friendly. And finally, it's about making noise together. Share this info to raise awareness and push your local LGU to create better local laws. It's about using our voices and our money to build pressure from the ground up.
Ultimately, this is the question that we're all left with. It's a call to action for businesses, for lawmakers, and really for all of us, because creating spaces that truly welcome our youngest citizens isn't some small niche issue. It's about what kind of society we actually want to be.